Wow, look how beautiful this place is. This hidden gem might not be as widely recognized as its neighbor Bath, but don't be mistaken. This town has an incredible mixture of medieval charm, picturesque canal-side views, and what we've heard are some pretty amazing places to get something to eat. So come along with us as we explore what just might be England's best kept secret, Bradford-on-Avon.
We came in by train this morning and just walking into town, just to see how beautiful these buildings are. And it just kind of reminds me of the Cotswolds a little bit with the coloring and just the style of the buildings.
Well, it's funny you mention that because a lot of times people call this a Cotswolds town and it's technically not, but it is adjacent. It's Cotswolds adjacent. So that makes sense that you would think that because apparently other people do too.
Oh, well, look at me.
Look at you. It is very beautiful and it's very moody today in southwest England. Getting an early start to our day, and I love the kind of foggy haziness that we're having without rain.
Yeah, no rain yet, thankfully.
I could probably sit here and make myself a little picnic and stare at this view all day, but we got a fun adventure plan this morning. Are you ready for a little hike?
Just a little one. Before
we explore the town proper, there is supposed to be this little incredible church that has views up on the hill of the town that a lot of people miss when they come here. And I can see why. I think it's hard to find, but we're determined to find it. So let's go find a little church. This sign here says that the town bridge dates from the 13th century, and they doubled it in width in 1769. Very few places we visited have had such interesting architecture combined with the kind of rolling hills that this place has.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think about that, but
it's
you're right.
Pretty. Oh, the Swan Hotel's for sale. Jeremy, did I just find our future business establishment in England?
Maybe. It's not the one in Wells, but we could have our own Swan Hotel.
I like that all the plaques here are green, and there are so many of them everywhere. We can let this place, we can run that hotel, and we can take those stairs every day.
If you get the hotel, wouldn't you just live at the hotel?
Oh, that's fair. You ready to take the next spot? We made it.
Hey.
There's a bench here just for us to catch our breath. Wow, what a view. I feel like I keep saying that around town, but there's a lot of nice things to look at here, including St. Mary Tory Chapel here. I guess in Middle English, Tory meant hill, which makes sense because that's what we just did.
That was a hill.
How are your calves doing, by the way?
They're okay. They're all right now that I've rested for a moment.
While we were sitting here and catching our breath, I was reading about this little chapel, and I guess back in the 1500s, this was a stop on the pilgrim route between Glastonbury and Malmesbury. It's so moody out today, and I think that has made this all the more lovely. I might be very wrong, and we'll find out later, but I think that might be the Tithe Barn that we're gonna go look at later. We came, we saw the beautiful little chapel on the hill.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Now let's go see more of town.
Okay.
Get something to eat. We got big plans for today. I'm still not sure if we accidentally went on a private walk or like private path going up, because I think this is the way we were supposed to go.
It looked pretty public. I don't know.
Sure, we'll walk through a churchyard. Why not? Lots of churches in this town.
There are.
And all very neat looking.
Yeah, this is very pretty looking.
I guess this one is the Holy Trinity Church. So far, everywhere we've gone has been so peaceful too. Just a very tranquil place, although we are here fairly early. That might change later on.
Yeah.
What makes this church extra special, the Saxon Church of St. Lawrence, is that it is one of the most complete Saxon buildings still standing in England. I guess it dates back to around 1000 BC. Saxon architecture is known for being tall and narrow, and it certainly is that. Wow, it's so neat in here. Standing inside of it, you can see how truly tall and narrow it is.
Yeah.
You know, the thing that's interesting is we've seen a lot of big, grand, magnificent churches throughout England, but this one is not very big, and yet you can just see how much history it has, how many just different layers there are. And I guess one of the things that makes this place really special is that it was forgotten. It was lost and used as a school and housing for a long time, and it wasn't until the 1800s that they rediscovered that it was a church, I guess, which is just fascinating, isn't it? The Holy Trinity is a lovely, beautiful church, but there's something about this one across the street here that just has so much history and character to it. I mean, just look at all the different layers, and you can just tell all the different repairs that they've done over the centuries. We've made our way to Bradford's Shambles, and Jeremy has already found a shop that interests him, a little bookshop. We visited the book barn.
We did. That part was out back. It was interesting. But I did pick up a cool on sale David Bowie book.
And we got some postcards. So
Yeah.
Nice. Really lovely shop owner.
Yeah, he was very sweet.
Yeah. So, everyone here has been so friendly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the kind of town where everyone says hello and good morning. Great vibes so far.
Yeah.
Just wandered through the rest of the Shambles, and it's really neat. I mean, it's, I think, similar to the Shambles in York. It was a medieval street that was once the meat market of the town, and now it houses a bunch of cool little shops.
If you're enjoying the video, give it a like and subscribe if you're not. It's an easy way to keep up with the channel, and it really helps us out. Thank you. We got a little confused. We were looking for the Bradford-on-Avon Museum. So we're looking for a museum building, but it turns out that it is part of the Bradford Library.
The internet said it was a small historical museum, so it makes sense that it's small enough it's part of the library. So far, everything we've done today has been free too, so amazing. What a fantastic museum. It's not very big in there, but it is full of so much incredible information about Bradford and the surrounding areas. You know, before going in there, I think we both knew that the history here was that it was a weaving town, but I did not realize that it was also, and maybe more prominently known for its rubber making. One of the things I thought was fascinating was learning about the mushrooms that they were cultivating underground until I think the 90s, the display said. But possibly the highlight is the fully preserved 1860s pharmacy, complete with little tinctures of old medicines, bars of soaps, all kinds of stuff.
It won't take you very long to go through the displays, but I think it's worth it. And we did end up speaking with a married couple that were taking care of the exhibits today for probably 20 minutes, and they were just lovely.
She did tell us that the factories have all been turned into housing and shops and things like that, which looks like that's what's going on right here. Yeah, they gave us all kinds of information about the town and also gave us some recommendations for places to go. A couple of the big ones they recommended we've already done, the Saxon Church and the St. Mary's Tory Church up on the hill, chapel up on the hill. And now we're gonna do something that I think you and I are both looking forward to because we haven't had a meal yet today, and that's about to change. And not only is it a good meal, but it's the best kind of meal in my opinion. Not only are we about to have cream tea, one of my favorite things, we're about to do it in what looks like maybe the most beautiful building I've ever seen.
The sign above the door also tells us that they're double winners of the UK's top tea room from the UK Tea Council, which sounds important.
I don't know what the UK Tea Council is, but yeah, they sound like they know what they're doing, and we're about to have a great cream tea.
I think you're probably right.
Oh, Jeremy, look how little your door is.
I'll have to not hit my head. But it steps down, so that's good.
Good. Be careful. I don't know about you, but this is probably the coolest place I've ever had cream tea.
Yeah. It's fancy, but kind of eclectic and cool at the same time.
Like old Victorian vibes to it.
Yeah.
Also, Queen Victoria herself is very imposing upon us.
That's fair.
She's sitting watching over our table. I went with the Jane Austen blend, which I can't even remember what exactly it was, other than it's a mix of black teas. But it is so lovely. This is maybe my favorite tea I've ever had. Not joking. So good.
I think it was a Mistress of Peking. It was an orange and citrus essence tea.
And how is it?
It's very nice.
I appreciate that these are nice, big scones. I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. It really takes a really good quality clotted cream, a really nice jam, and a well-cooked scone to make the trifecta of a good cream tea, but we've got it, and the tea itself is fantastic. 10 out of 10.
It smells really nice. We've had some pretty nice cream teas, but this is definitely one of the better ones. That's really nice.
The tea room itself is everything I hoped it to be, a very Victorian, old-fashioned, kind of eclectic mix of antiquities. I can always tell that Jeremy and I are loving a meal when we have silence as we just sit there and eat and enjoy it, and that is exactly what happened today. We're discussing maybe the best cream tea we've had yet, ever. If you come to Bradford-on-Avon, which you should, you have to go to this tea room, especially, I mean, I guess not if you don't like tea, but especially if you do. That was a top-notch tea room. You cannot miss this place if you come here.
A flood level in 1882.
Wow, taller than you, or about as tall as you.
About the same. That's pretty high.
I feel like it's exactly the same. It must have flooded 6 feet 4 inches. We just decided to take a stroll through this park. It looks like it's called Westbury Gardens. It's just a beautiful park along the river here. And they have some Remembrance Day memorials. We took a nice peaceful stroll along the river and have found ourselves at the Tithe Barn.
Very cool looking.
This barn is so big, our lens we have today does not even fit the whole thing in it. It's massive. Now, when I told you that we were going to the Tithe Barn next, you already knew what that meant.
I did. I wasn't sure it was the same meaning, but paying a tithing is like 10%.
Interesting.
Of whatever your wages, or in this case, it sounds like what you're growing is like a farmer.
Yeah, I had no idea. We've never come across a barn like this before in England. But I guess back then they would give 10% of everything to the church, which included animals, crops, eggs, you name it, they gave 10% of it, and it was housed inside of this building. And we haven't even been inside yet, so I guess we should probably go take a look. That is a wild concept to me. Like, what did they do with animals? Like, what does the church do with livestock?
Feed people? I don't know.
Oh, that's true, I guess. It makes sense. It's just, I don't know. I just picture a bunch of animals and stuff being stocked in here. And then I'm thinking, well, what's the good in that? But no, you're right. It's not just sitting around in here, probably.
Probably not.
It's also really impressive that the entire top of it is wood. It's wooden. I think that's what makes Bradford so special, is that there are so many historically significant buildings here, each unique in their own very different way.
Yeah, that's fair. They're from kind of different time frames, and this one's like a religious building. It's just all has its own history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think this one's fascinating that it's both a religious building but also for agricultural purposes.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow, this is saying that they used it into, looks like the early 1900s and until it was in poor repair and no longer needed for agricultural use. You know how Henry Ford tried to take the cottages from the Cotswolds and move them to Michigan?
Yeah.
I feel like my version of that is like an old medieval door. Can I just have an old medieval door in my American house?
I mean, we probably could. It would be expensive, I bet. So.
I mean, I don't know if these ones are original, but certainly a lot of the ones that we've come across are pretty old. It is starting to look a little dark and ominous out. We're starting to get some sprinkling happening. So I think we're gonna call it a day here, but what a wonderful day we have had. I have completely fallen in love with Bradford-on-Avon. It has been, I don't know, surprisingly even better than I expected. If you've never been, you should definitely come here and check it out. It is truly underrated, I believe. But if you know of any other places that are underrated, maybe places that are lesser known, but they should be more known, leave a comment and let us know. Maybe we'll visit one in a future video. Thank you to our patrons for coming along. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't seen the video where we went and visited another truly underrated place, Saltburn by the Sea up in Yorkshire, go check out that video. It'll be right here.